So recently, Google Forms made it a lot easier to create graded quizzes within Google Forms. So today I'm just going to walk you through how easy it is to set that up so you can just go crazy and create your new quizzes with Google Forms. So as normal, I'm in Google Drive and I'm just going to go to New and Google Forms. Now, if you already have quizzes set up previously, you can change those now to the graded quizzes. It's real easy to do, and they all go basically the same thing. So I'm just going to start my question. The first thing I always like to do, of course, is name it. So I'm going to just name this fake quiz, and I'm going to give you my first question. So when did you learn about the quiz feature? And it's going to be today, yesterday, and tomorrow. All right, so I got my basic question in here. And keep in mind, I can add all kinds of questions and question types. One thing I want you to keep in mind with the new Google quizzes, it'll automatically correct or grade certain types of questions, and these are multiple choice, check boxes, or drop down options. Within the Google quiz, you can also include the other things like file uploads and some linear stuff, but you do have to manually grade those if you want to. But that's really easy to do, so we're going to walk through that. So I've got my first question in here, and I'm ready to make my quiz. So I'm going to go up to the gear, which is settings. And I like to collect my email addresses of my students. That way you always know who submitted it. And Google Quizzes is really kind of limited at this point to only students within our domain. So they're going to have to log in anyway, so why not collect their email address? So I'm going to check that. And then I'm going to come right over here to my option for quizzes. So I want to click on quizzes, and then I'm going to turn on make this a quiz just by clicking on it. To turn it on. So you'll notice it now turn purple, and I'm ready to go. Now once my quizzes turn on, I'll now have several options. My first option is, do I want the student to immediately know what their grade is? So when they're done, do I want them to know right that minute, right when they submit, whether they got them right or wrong? Now, if all your questions were multiple choice, checkbox, or drop down, this is a great way to do it. You can get it done, not worry about it. If you have some questions that you have to manually grade, or if you don't want students to see it and you want to look through and manual grade and correct your quiz answers later on and then give it to them, then you can choose the second option, which is later after manual review. All right, notice that if you choose the manual review, you do have to turn on the email collection because it's going to email that student back and let them know what their grade is. So our first part, do we want to release the grades now or later? And then we have several other options. Our first one is, when they see their grade, do we want to show them what questions they missed? So when they hit that submit button, will they know what questions they missed? Do we want to show them the correct answer? So even if we show them the ones that they missed, do we want them to show the correct answer, yes or no? And then do we want to show them the point value that we assigned to that particular question? And now that's a great item to think about, because you can give a question 0 points, which means it wouldn't necessarily count toward their grade, but you may want to just try it out there and see if they remember it. For right now, I'm going to leave all of those on, and I want to choose Save. All right, now once we've saved this as a quiz, we now have a brand new feature within our question, and that feature is right here. It's called the answer key. So I'm going to click on answer key, and the first thing I like to do is go ahead and assign my points. So right now this question is worth 0 points, and I want to say it's now worth 1 point. And I'm now going to choose the correct answer. So I want to choose the correct answer. And then I can also add feedback to their answer. So I want to click on Add Answer Feedback. Now in here, I can give feedback for both incorrect answers and correct answers. So you think about the fact that you can give your students some really good feedback if they get it wrong. Not only can I add a message in here, but I can also add links and to supplemental or remediation information. So if this student got the question wrong, when they receive their feedback back, when they get their quiz back, they'll have a link in their quiz that could potentially take them to a YouTube video on how to solve that problem. Or you might send them to an online PDF, or you might send them to a Google Doc that gives them more or additional help. Or you might even send them to another quiz and say, okay, you got that wrong, let's take this quiz now. So you have lots of options. To do that, you would paste the link here. So just to give you an example, I'm just going to put in Google, if I can spell, google.com, and then what text to play, this or take this extra work. All right, and then I'll just click on add, and then it'll add that extra link with feedback. So sorry, that is incorrect. Please click on the link below. All right, and then for the correct answer, we could just say, great job. And then I'll save that. So now you'll notice I have my feedback, and for both correct and incorrect answers, plus the link in the incorrect, that could send them, like I said, potentially to a YouTube video or a Google Doc or some follow-up work that you might have. From this point, I can now just keep adding additional questions like I normally would. So I would just go add to a next question and keep going, adding my answer key as I go. So I want to add one more question. Is it raining? So notice that Google's new feature now adds some smart answers in there. So I want to add all of those. I want to create my answer key. I want to give it a point value and select the correct answer. And I'm ready. So now, as you can see, we have our new quiz that's out there. So here's our quiz to our students. I'm already logged in, so it didn't ask me to log in again. But when you send that URL to your students, for example, if you put it into eBackpack or Canvas and you had it linked to there, or if you had a QR code linking to it, however you want to do it, they will have to log in to do this. So first question, when did you learn about this quiz feature? I want to say yesterday, so you'll see an incorrect one. And is it raining? No. So then I'll submit. And then from here, notice I can view my score if I wanted to, because we selected that option. So if I click on view my score, see, notice I put yesterday, but the correct answer is today. And in the feedback, it says, sorry, that's incorrect. Please click on the link below. I can click on that. It'll open a new tab up and go to the google.com website that I selected. But of course, what I would do in my classroom is either send them to a YouTube video or a Google Doc or something that would give them some remediation on why they got it wrong. And of course, under is it raining, I got that one correct. So my total score was 1 out of the 2. Now let's go and change a few things just so you can see the difference. Back under my settings in quizzes, I'm going to say I want to not give them the immediate release, but I want to review it first. All right, but I also don't want them to see what they missed, or I do, but I don't want them to see the correct answer, and I don't want them to see the point value. So I want to save that. And we're going to take this a second time. So when did you learn about this quiz? Tomorrow. Is it raining? Maybe. And I'll submit this. And notice they no longer have the option to view their responses. And let's go back to your side. So under the quiz, while I'm here, notice I have my questions right up at top, and then I have my responses. So I'm going to go to responses. This is going to give me a lot of information. So it'll give me like my average points, point range, some insights, my distribution of points. It'll tell me who scored what, and it'll also, give me some additional information about the breakdown of those questions. But what I'm interested in is the individual response. So I'm under the first one. Notice I have a drop down here, and it'll show every student that took the quiz and what they made. So I'm looking through here, and I can, from this point, now manually score. So I'm going to choose Charles. He's my first one. He got that one wrong. He got 0 points. Now that's true. So we're good there. But I'm going to go over to the next one. So he put tomorrow. He was really got it incorrect. Maybe I want to change that, so I'll give it to him today. All right. So I've manually altered that score, and I saved. So now that I've given him credit for that, and the reason I bring that out, that's not actually a great example, but for example, if I had them submit a photo or submit a video explanation, I could manually score those. From this point, I would say I want to release the scores, and what it would do is it would email those students what they made. And if they got it incorrect, it would have the link to those correction activities, just like when you saw before with, when they got it wrong, they were given the link to the follow-up. So that's all there is to it. It's really easy to make. Oh, one more thing. You can also create a spreadsheet. Just click on the green icon to create the spreadsheet. Say create. And what it can do is it'll add when the students took the test, who took it, the score they made, and the answers they gave. So it's, if you rather have it in a spreadsheet format, that's available. So that's about all there is to it. So thank you so much for watching.